We spend the first half of our lives focused on rationalizing the world around us. We accumulate facts and use our intellect to solve every problem we encounter. To navigate this social world, we build a persona. This is the social mask we wear to fit into the collective herd, the reliable professional or the agreeable neighbor. Yet, despite our reliance on logic, modern life is characterized by rising neuroses and a persistent sense of alienation. Our rational control doesn't seem to provide a sense of peace. This happens because the conscious ego, the part of you that says I, is merely the tip of a much larger psychological structure. Below the waterline sits the unconscious. It isn't a passive storage room. It's a living, dynamic force that is constantly trying to participate in our daily lives. When we rely solely on our intellect and ignore this inner ocean, the repressed material doesn't disappear. It forces its way to the surface as panic, anxiety, or a psychological crisis. If external knowledge can't solve this alienation, we have to look toward the source, the dark, submerged depths of the mind itself. The first layer below the surface is the personal unconscious. This is where we hide our repressed memories and the instincts we've been taught to ignore. To Sigmund Freud, this space was essentially a dumping ground for the past. He viewed the unconscious as a dark archive of personal trauma and repressed sexual instincts. His protege, Carl Jung, began to suspect this was a narrow view. He saw that reducing the human psyche to mere biological impulses left out the most significant parts of the human experience. Jung realized the unconscious wasn't just a dead archive of neuroses. He found it was a creative, luminous force that provided the mind with meaning and direction. This realization caused a permanent professional rupture. Jung chose to trust his inner experiences over Freud's rigid materialist dogma, ending their partnership forever. By viewing our inner world as more than just a collection of personal traumas, we can begin to see the powerful, shared heritage that lies even deeper. Descending further, we reach Jung's most radical discovery, the collective unconscious. This is a shared network that connects the psychology of all humanity. The conscious ego is the iceberg's tip. The personal unconscious is the submerged ice. Both float in the collective unconscious, a vast ocean of ancient archetypes. This active ocean constantly communicates to the conscious mind through dreams, fantasies, and instincts. Jung tested this bold theory on himself. He intentionally stepped back from rational control, studying the visions rising from his own depths. In 1913, he experienced a terrifying premonition, a colossal wave of blood flooding the entire map of Europe. When World War I broke out shortly after, it confirmed his suspicion. The deep unconscious taps into a reality far larger than the individual ego. But navigating this space is dangerous. If the conscious mind is swallowed by these collective forces, the result is severe psychosis and madness. We don't conquer this space with logic. We have to experience its visions and survive the confrontation to extract the wisdom within. At the very center of this psychological dive lies the core. Jung called this absolute center the self. The self represents a state of total integration, a perfect balance between our light and shadow, our conscious and unconscious minds. Ancient spiritual traditions understood this integrated state long before modern psychology. They recognized it as a path to becoming a complete being. Reaching this core begins the process of individuation, where the person begins to permanently strip away their artificial social masks. Individuation is the process of freeing oneself from the mindless instincts of the collective herd. It separates personal choice from the mass psychology of the group. When we return to the surface, the psyche is no longer fragmented. The person operates as a unique, integrated whole rather than just a collection of intellectual facts. By integrating these hidden forces, the intellect and the unconscious are no longer at war. The result is a person who is finally operating as an authentic individual.